Amazing's on Amazon stock. I love this one, okay? And by the way, Amazon's kind of had a lame last 5 years. It's only up 48% in the past 5 years. For Amazon stock, that's actually a really poor performance. I do not believe that will be the type of performance Amazon has over the next 5 years. I believe it will be far better than that. Now, when it comes to Amazon, there's a few things you got to understand, okay? First thing with Amazon, you're getting the giants, okay? So there's 3 gigantic businesses you're getting when you buy Amazon. AWS is first. Now, the reason I listed that first, even before I listed e-commerce, is because when it comes to Amazon Web Services, this is what everybody really cares about on Wall Street. This is the main profit center for the company. And this is seen as a bigger long-term potential, actually, than the e-commerce business, which is mind-blowing to think that, right? And I remember Jeff Bezos talking about this years ago. He spoke about the potential that AWS would be bigger in the e-commerce business. Back then, people said, what? Are you crazy? Are you mad? Now, if you ask the average Wall Street person, they will say Amazon Web Services is the most important business for Amazon. It's more important than every other business, which is crazy, okay? But much of the backbone of companies is run on AWS now at this point in time. They obviously have the e-commerce juggernaut, which I'm sure you see, a million Prime vans running around your neighborhood on a weekly basis, right? And I'm sure you're probably ordering more and more stuff on Amazon as the years tick on. I know certainly I have. I remember it used to be, I was speaking to a friend about this recently. I said, I remember when I first moved out of my parents' house, that was in 2011. And I remember I might order something from Amazon once a month, once every other month, something like that. It was pretty rare. And then when I moved from Glendale, Arizona, I moved out to Charlotte, North Carolina to help Quick Trip expand out there, right? And I remember I started ordering, things every single month, sometimes even a couple things a month, right? And then I remember moving from Charlotte, North Carolina to Henderson, right? To Henderson, Nevada. And it was incredible because next thing you know, I found myself almost starting to order something every week. And I can tell you nowadays in present day, 2023, living in Las Vegas, I order stuff from Amazon, usually several things every week now at this point in time. Almost anything I can think of, like just random simple stuff. Like last night even, I was like, I wanted to get a stretching band, like a stretching band. And so where's the first place I'm going to look? Amazon, boom, $15, bought it. Like, it's just like almost first thing that comes to mind if I'm going to buy something. I'm like, hey, I need something, or I want something for the house, or I need this, or I need that. Amazon. And it's just so convenient. You go to the app on your phone, you buy the thing, it takes like a few minutes, and you got the reviews all there. It's beautiful, right? So that business is a juggernaut that's just going to keep growing for, when does the e-commerce business stop growing? I can tell you it's not in this decade. It's probably not next decade either. So someday the business will finally peak, but it's no time soon. The advertising business is an absolute juggernaut that no one even talked about the advertising business for Amazon a few years ago. And now this business is becoming so substantial that you can't miss it when it comes to Amazon. And then you get the smalls, okay? We'll call them the smalls. Businesses like Twitch, businesses like Whole Foods, and many other companies that Amazon owns as well. I am planning on buying Amazon to $150 a share. I've been an aggressive adder of Amazon pretty much this entire year, right? But when it comes to Amazon, do I even consider holding? No. This is just, do I consider selling? In terms of holding, this is just a hold this decade. Because when you own a company that has such a long runway of growth ahead of itself, right? You don't even think about really selling it. When I think about Amazon, I think about unlimited growth potential, at least for this decade, if not the next decade as well, right? When I think about AWS, the company's just going to continue to grow for so long in the future. When I think about the e-commerce business, when I think about the advertising business, these businesses just have such long runways of growth ahead of themselves that there's no reason for me to jump out anytime soon. This is one of those that any major dips, like let's say we have recessions in the future, anything like that, market goes down a bunch, any of those sorts of opportunities, in my opinion, is buy the dip opportunity in Amazon. Not like, let me sell it like this. Palantir stock. What in the world is going on with Palantir? I can tell you what's going on with Palantir, okay? So this stock making another 8% plus move here today. We're up another $8,500 on the stock, by the way. Congrats all Palantir shareholders. Palantir, I was thinking if this stock did really well after earnings, maybe we go to the $20 to $25 range, right? it could be $20 to $25 range before we get to earnings. Like, all we need is like another day or two of the stock being up, and we'll already be in the $20 to $25 range, which is shocking, all before earnings, right? And, you know, if you know me, I'm not a huge options fan. I usually just buy options for hedging, but, you know, I did decide recently to buy a little Palantir calls, and so far they're printing a little bit of money. We'll just put it that way. We'll see how all that trades out. I'm not a big options person, believe me on that, other than to hedge my portfolios. But yeah, I saw some $17 calls, 2025, and I was like, I got to make a little move there. So we'll see how all that transpires over time. So what's going on here at Palantir? I can tell you what's going on. This is an overflow effect from the Dan Ives move, right? Dan Ives comes out and calls Palantir the Messi of AI. We'll see. Obviously, whatever Karp and the team has to say about guidance is going to really let us know, is this really the Messi of AI, right? And so he comes out and makes that call on Friday. Stock moves up big on Friday, right? And then a lot of people, when they look at an analyst note like this, they don't make an initial move. They kind of wait for the next week. And so I believe this is kind of an overfill. But the other thing I think is interesting, right? And I covered this on my reaction channel. I don't know if you guys follow my reaction channel or not, and shout out to everybody that follows the reaction channel. Let me know in the comment section if you also are subscribed over the reaction channel. I appreciate y'all, okay? But I created a video, right? That talked about Palantir stock, something strange happened, right? And there was a video where I reacted to Amit, who's pretty big in the Palantir community, talking with a couple other gentlemen about Palantir stock, right? And the thing that was very, very strange was, why did Dan Ives come out and, say this and make this move about a week or so before earnings, roughly a week, maybe a little over a week before earnings are going to come out? It's very strange to do it then, and why not just wait on that, right? And in order for the stock to make the next run, right? And I remember I told you guys recently, like, how does the stock go from $16, right, which was where it was a week ago when I made this comment, to $32? I'll tell you exactly how it does it. Karp comes in, nails numbers out of the ballpark, talks about profitability is going to be much better than they were anticipating moving forward, and he talks about revenue growth rates getting to a much stronger state than what they had anticipated, and maybe he puts out there that we expect the company to start growing 30% plus a year for many years to go in the future, right? If he comes out and says that, then we're back on. Then we're talking big dog, because then we could be talking about profitability, way more profitable company than anybody anticipated. Then we could be talking about, obviously, S&P 500 inclusion, slam dunk, right? And then we could simultaneously be talking about a revenue story that is back on track, right? Because the thing that attracted a lot of people to Palantir back in the day was Karp said we were going to grow 30% plus. Then we stopped growing 30% plus, right? And 15, 20% type growth rates, and people started to fall asleep. If all of a sudden we talk about 30% plus is back, we're back, baby. That's how we get to $32 a share, and the stock starts pushing 30 plus, okay? And then we can kind of go from there.